28 December, Wednesday, MAO with Cal once again. Alright guys, what if the NASDAQ really drops below 10,000 points? Now, recently when I was talking to my friends regarding some of the technology companies, and they're telling me that they are buying, and tell me because the stock price is like 30%, 40% from the all-time high, I share with them that this is not going to be the low. In fact, I share with them that we must see a capitulation. That means that the funds, there must be retailers cutting losses, funds basically saying that that's it, they are not involved in this company, then we can see a market bottom. I'll share you more details shortly, and of course I'll show you something that probably you don't see on the mainstream media with the China market right now. Okay, let's go into detail, let's do it. Now first of all, disclaimer apply as usual, and thank you AIMS for the kind sponsorship. Now, one thing is that you don't see in the mainstream media is that now the situation in China is getting very drastic. Based on some of the mainstream media, alright, those reports that you don't see much in the market, about nearly 300 million people has already got affected by the infected by the COVID virus, okay? And really the situation is kind of really bad. And people are running out of oxygen tank, and people are already suffering. And you can see right now they're waiting in the ER for many hours, and some of them were so bad they had to drive themselves to the hospital because the ambulance not moving. And of course, some people even call the fire department to carry their husband down 4 levels because obviously they need resuscitation and stuff like that. So this is the situation that you don't really see in the mainstream media. And of course, people who are there, they give very first-hand sharing, and it says that now the situation is very, very scary, and you feel that things may get really out of hand. And of course, the scary part is now to be confirmed, because you don't see it in the mainstream media. More than 10,000 corpses stored in frozen meat freezer. Oh gosh, okay. Apparently, the Beijing Municipal Party Community Secretary was so frightened, apparently he cried. So of course, again, I repeat, all these are coming from the so-called non-mainstream media, so you may not get to see it. And of course, I'm pretty sure if you send this to your friends in China, they're gonna, like, you know, some of them will believe it, some will say like, hey, come on man, this is just fabricated stuff. But the point is this: right now, more than 300 million people, according to source, that's about nearly 20% of the population itself has got this virus, and this is actually very scary. And you can see that they can't even have time to, you know, burn the corpse, as I mentioned before, because incinerate them, because there really is too many of them. And basically everywhere is sprouting with information about what can be done, what can't be done in China. And of course, very scary. Apparently now suddenly a lot of old folks just pass on. Okay, of course we all know that the COVID virus is not that friendly with the older generation, and of course you can see across the board itself a lot of these people. Now, of course, there's certain laboring on these people because they actually probably contribute in the party. So there's some saying that how come these people who are involved in the party is getting sick? Well, that's another propaganda. I'll leave it alone, all right? The point is this: take a look at these pictures right now. Look at it. This is on the 19th of December. This is on the 20th December. This is on the 21st December, and this is the 22nd December. So what do you realize? All right, they're the same people, right? So of course you say, what's the big deal? Now apparently, as you know, CCTV, they got 8 presenters, and they actually rotate in pairs. That means one guy, one lady. So it is really unusual to see these two repeating coming on, right, for consecutive days. So there's only one reason for that. Probably some of the people get sick and they have no choice. Whoever is still okay, good to go. So that is how serious and how bad it is, the situation right now. Right? There's some PowerPoint issue. Now there's one little thing that I picked up on internet itself, and this is the 301 hospital. Okay, this is a very interesting thingy. So apparently, right, okay, that this some on grapevines, okay, not confirmed yet, some grapevines saying that Xi Jinping's mother passed on. Now of course she's already 96-year-old. Pass on is not too something that unexpected, but of course it's probably due to COVID, and that is something that you need to take note. And of course the government PAL General 301 hospital suddenly got blocked, and there are ongoing saying that someone very high in authority has passed on, and of course their website turned black and white just to probably commemorate someone. And when someone was interviewed or asked, you know, why you wear a black tie, let's hear for yourself what he has to say. Quite interesting though. Okay, let's take a look.
外交部的官网显示啊，赵立坚最后一次主持外交部例行新闻会是在12月2日，此后就再没有露面了啊。之后的这2个多星期以来，都是毛宁啊和汪文斌上场的。哎，那个汪文斌很有意思，前2天打这个黑领带上来。
遇到您戴这个纯黑的这个领带，请问这个领带有什么特别的意义吗？谢谢。
不需要我跟你多说了吧？
人家问他啊，怎么回事？他哎，还有我多说吗？那2天正好是赶上这个谁啊，齐星，传闻齐星去世嘛，所以是吧
？Alright, so if you don't understand what happened is that this is the foreign secretary and he was being questioned why he's wearing a black tie, and we all know that you don't wear black tie unless there's something happened, right? You saw what happened with Queen Elizabeth, so I probably can see why. But of course, again, try not to disturb the peace and the disharmony and also the current situation in China. So sometimes certain news probably they need to just mellow it down for time being. And of course, Korea has said no to China. All right, apparently North Korea. All right, North Korea has said that nope, citizens from China, you're not allowed to cross the borders. Okay, so you think about this. All right, if North Korea has have the right mind to actually stop doing this, I just wonder why other countries are still allowing this to happen. So don't you feel that it's a repeat of what happened in 2019? Interesting, right? So let's look at the China market right now. The China market is still holding on pretty nicely. If you look at it, it's not like crashing down, in fact. But there's something that you must take notice is the volume involved itself. The volume involved now is pretty low. Don't you find that way? Look at it. The volume itself involved is pretty low. This is like the basic normal volume. But recently, the last few days, the volume is almost not there. So it seems like the market is having a bit of question mark here. Anytime if the market failed to stay above 12400 on the China A50, we're going to see some selling, and I strongly believe that we may even see 11,600 in the near term. All right, so that is again my reason why I think you should be very careful, and that might be a spillover. Now, of course, last night Dow Jones up by 37 points, NASDAQ dropped 162 points, S&P down 15 points. So is the Santa Claus rally going to come in? Well, look at it right now. Google was down by 2%, Apple down by 1.4%, Amazon down by 2.59%, and the scary one was Tesla. Oh my goodness, take a look, guys. Tesla down by 11.41%. Oh my goodness, okay? Now, this company was a $1 trillion market cap company, but today itself is 344. That is a 70% drop in market share. My goodness, this is really incredible. And I've been calling for sell on Tesla for the longest of time and been pretty alright. Now just think back for a moment, flashback, okay? Remember, back in 2021 August, okay, when the NASDAQ crossed 15,000 for the first time, and many experts were asking what do they feel the market, and I said that okay, good enough, but we can see further upside. And then after that, less than a month, okay, less than a month or so, about 2 months, sorry, about 2 months, the NASDAQ went above 16,000. Wow! And again, a lot of experts were being called in and stuff. Remember, this 2021, yeah, that was last year. And of course, we have Tom Lee. Now, probably is one of the guy I follow, but just that recently, the way he's being so optimistic really scares me. And of course, I just feel that he was wrong. So Tom Lee, remember, just very recently in August this year, actually calls for the S&P to reach 4,800. Now, my point is this: today is August, and now it's December, 4 months later. I mean, there are something that happened, but you know, to be so off, unless there's going to be a super big rally. Plus, the S&P 500 now is trading at 3,800, 3,900 level. So we need a 1,000 point movement from the S&P to reach where he says. I kind of don't think so, right? Don't you agree? And of course, just, you know, another 1 month later, he is still sticking to his bullish year-end call, and he believed that even though the yield was soaring, equity was plunging, to him, he said, okay, still good to go. So don't you realize that sometimes when you are probably there, you probably cannot see things as clear as others, all right? So the thing is, why am I kind of bearish right now? Because I can see that the home sales has dropped by a record figure by 35% in November. And this is not good, because we all know that any start of recession, you need to see home sales coming down. And this is one thing to know, because in 2008 and 9, this was exactly what happened, and of course that leads to a more problem. And you can see that the previously owned home sales has weakened as the high rates take toll. And don't forget, the rate will still continue to go higher as long as Jerome Powell feels that inflation is still to stay. And if this will continue, more people will not be able to facilitate their current housing loans or even mortgage loans. This will be pretty bad. As you can see now, the contract signing on one family house has dropped to the weakest level in 12 years. So that means that we're going back to where we are, that is back to the that Lehman Brothers time. This is not good, okay guys. This is really a very bad sign. And of course, currently now, right, there is the numbers are coming down across the board, and this is the numbers you can see on the screen right now. That single family dropped by 7.6%, and that is still going down. Existing condominiums and co-op sales are also declining. All this tells you that the economy is really not doing well. Of course, the good thing is that that's what Jerome Powell wants. But the problem is that it's not really hitting the companies at the moment. So all these will have a repercussion problem later on. And of course, we all know that Tesla has just went below the 110 mark. Why? Because Tesla need to reduce output in Shanghai right now, because obviously the current situation in China is really bad. And you can see that, right, the demand for it itself has also came off, all right? So the massive COVID outbreak is one of them, but the demand also have dropped. And with all this thing happening right now, think about this: where are going to be the spare part? Where are going to get the resources? All these is going to weigh onto Tesla. That's why they have to do the production halt. And one lead to the other, of course, that means that this stock now, look at the price right now, 110. Now, seriously, 110 was the last support here back in September last year. And so, I mean, apology, but that was where I said it will go, and it really, really came down. So basically, those people who are side back with me has lost money to me. All right, now 110. Look at RSI. Oh my goodness, the RSI reading now is at 16. That is very, very low for any stock. But the thing is this, I have shared with you guys, when I saw the RSI getting so close to one another, I know that this is actually a bear market for this particular counter. So any recovery is going to get some sellers. So I'm not even half surprised to see there'll be some rebound coming in a little bit. But once it loses 110, the next number could be as low as $92. Now that is a level that I mentioned some time ago, and I said that if the 138 couldn't hold the 92, it can happen, okay? But of course, we all know that some of the people are actually looking at $65. Oh my goodness. Now, it does make sense, because this is the reason why. There is a 4 days gap up, right, back in last year August. So, sorry, 2020 August, okay? So if the market is going to go by technical, after $92 break, $65 is really, really possible. Now, if that happened, that means that Tesla going to go down by another 30% from where we are right now. I mean, that's going to break a lot of stocks. And I believe that the recent volume, you can see right now, the volume have been really, really big. Now, this is not buying volume. This could be just cutting loss volume. And the people who are buying now could be really bottom pickers, or it could be retailers jumping in to try to get it cheap. But I can tell you this, we've seen this before many times, when the stock price keep on coming down, and this particular stock is something that people like, it could cause a real capitulation to happen. So I'm going to be upfront here. If you want to buy Tesla for, like, touch and go, you can queue at $92, right? A buy limit over there and see whether you get it hit. Who knows, it may touch and rebound like a bungee jump, all right? If those who are really, really think that Tesla can go down lower, you can try 65. Who knows? You never know. Santa Claus may give you a very big present just by doing that, okay? All right. But the main thing is this, you can see now the 10-year yield is moving up. And I already tell you guys, the 10-year yield, this point is point A, is point B, and this point C. I was very clear. I mentioned that once the market breaks C, it will go up. And truth be told, now it's 3.8%, the level that I mentioned. So now the key is 3.9, okay? This is going to be a big figure. If the market breaks 3.9, I'm pretty sure we go back all the way up again, and that means that the market is adamant to actually really increase interest rate further, and this will definitely add more pressure to the equity market, especially the technology company. So that's why I feel that there could be a possibility that we can see further downside for Tesla. And of course, ARKK has went below $30. I already told you guys, I am very confident that ARKK will go below $30, and it really has happened. So all these proven that, right, what we say about the market has really come true. And if you could continue to look at it, right, this number now at $29 is really all the way the lowest level for the longest of time. So which means that there is still a chance for this stock to go down further, and it can really see 25. Really, I'm not kidding you guys. If this is going to be behaving at what I'm seeing right now, if the NASDAQ goes below 10,000, there is a very high possibility that we can see ARKK going $25. And imagine this stock was at $160 at this peak, and if it's at $25, this stock is down a lot. My goodness, more than now at the moment now from the highest point to down is really down by 81%. So at that is at $30. Imagine at $25, it's going to be 85%. So really, guys, this is really madness. Okay, and really, this is whereby I want to tell you this: be careful. Okay, this is something not going to be nice. Let me share with you now 3 conventional chart before we go to the TWB chart, so that we can actually address this better. Now take a look, guys. This is the S&P 500 right now. Now the S&P 500, as I said to you, there's a gap right here, and it has been covered, and the market has been trying to stay above the 3809 level. That is a very important support, and of course we can see that it is there. Now the volume is really coming off, probably because it's the long weekend and also ahead of the new year, so maybe that is a reason why. But still, it doesn't really give me any comfort to tell me that the situation is going to be good. So very simple, if 3809 can't hold, I'm pretty sure we will see it coming down to 3750 level. Okay, so watch out for that. This is S&P spot market. But of course, if the market do rebound, then you can see the 3869 level. Now I feel that that is going to be a resistance for now, and I don't see any good reason for buying. So traders, you need to take note of that. Now for the this is the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ has really tried its best to stay afloat. Now 10,600 is a very important support for the NASDAQ. We can see that it came down and it rebounded, almost there, rebounded. So this time around, I believe that the pressure will bring it down further to 10,600. Now that is the 61 point for your information from the lowest end, which is here, right, back in 2020 to the highest end, which is here. All right, the Fibonacci shows that, right, this is the 61 point, the darling, it has to stay supported 10,600. Anything lower than that itself, we can really see the NASDAQ going below 10,000, and that will be the 78.6% or 8,920 level. Now this is going to be very ugly if that happens. Now I don't expect it to happen within, like, 3, 4 days, 4, 5 days. It could take about weeks to months, but I'm still pretty confident that this may happen. Now this one is the Dow Jones from the highest point, which is here right now, and the lowest point recently, and the Fibonacci, we can see pretty clear that it got rejected at the 61.8, and now it's pulling back. Now the 50% mark is a very critical level, is holding the fort, all right, and that is at the 32,814 level. This is a very important support. The market has to stay above it. Now anytime if it breaks below this important MA200 or 32,480 is going to help. Okay, anything, it will rely on this guy. If the market touches this and rebound, we can see a recovery from here. But if the market fail, then of course you'll slice down all the way to see this point here itself, and that's 31,836 level. Okay, so that is the what we have here, and of course let's look at the chart right now and see what we have. Let me bring it to you. Okay, here we go. Now this is the Hang Seng chart this morning and this afternoon. In fact, you can see that the market has the KFC level, and the market touches it, pulls back, touches it, pulls back, and today we have the same thing happening. So if that is the case itself, right, that means that it could be a doji closing, and if it's going to be a doji closing, do expect a bit of pulling back in the near term. All right, so traders watch out for this. And this is the Dow Jones. The KFC level is here at 33,031, and at the moment now it's holding up. As long as today it holds above OP, it's because it's a doji. All right, and for the NASDAQ, you can see that the NASDAQ failed to stay above the KFC level, and now it's down to the KCB and holding there. Now to me it's alright, it's just a matter of time. If the market breaks below this 10,800 level, we may see it coming down further, and that may break the 10,000 mark in the near term. So traders, again, watch out for all this. All right, so let's just look at the gold market too using KFC to wrap it up. You can see that the KFC was brilliant. It basically resisted, and when it found support, this is where it went up. But we have a very, very strong resistance around this area here, and that's 1813 level. All right, where do you get derived from? Let's take a look. This is where we derive it from, 1813. Right, and the next level will be coming here, and that will be the 1838. All right. So at the moment right now, I strongly believe that gold is still on a pretty strong uptrend. But if let's say the dollar strength to come in, a pullback will be welcoming, and then after that we see the bigger run later on. All right, let's look at it with the TWB system to feel it, to have a better feel on it for today. Let's bring it in right now. Okay, so what we have right now on the Dow Jones for the TWB system, we have a doji directional day, which means that as long as the market stays above OP, it's a buying day, which is happening right now. The opening price is 33,269, and now it's at 33,346. So it's more towards the buying, right? So as long as the market is buying and stay above MLP, 33,549 will be the first resistance. The only thing is this, I'll just general reminder that if the market is pumping up in the afternoon, in the morning and afternoon, and then in the evening it comes down, actually it's more towards the downtrend instead of the uptrend. So traders, you need to take note of that, yeah? But at the moment now, it's seemingly firming up, so it's fine. KSI and KRW are not actually giving me the positive sign, so I'm going to just wait for a while. There's no need to jump into right now. Once the market loses below MLP 33,293, the selling will resume by itself. So at the moment now, just wait for a while, okay? Now, NASDAQ created a new BNB last night, so which means that the upper band, 11,378, is the BNB 1x1. The lower band is 10,511. KSI and KRW both are red, so that's why you can see the arrow coming up. So very simple. If the NASDAQ loses below the opening price for today, it means that the opening price is 10,818. Then the selling can bring it down all the way to pivot 2 first, 10,707, and then if it gets worse, then it'll be 10,511. All right, so watch out for the opening price. Don't do anything around there. Now for the S&P 500, very clear that it's doing a higher low formation, but the KSI is red, KRW just also been red, so double red. That's why we witness the red arrow here. So very simple, guys. All you do is wait for it to break below the low of today or yesterday, 3812. So if the S&P break 3812, I'm pretty sure we can see selling all the way down to the BNB SL level, and that could be 3762 level. All right, so watch out for this. This can actually really happen. Now for the China A50, earlier you saw it was a cash market. This is a CFD. We can see very clearly this morning it gaps up but went down, staying below the MA200. This is not a good sign, but the good part is that it stays above MA30. So now we have again the conflusion of two moving average, one call for sell, one call for buy. We just wait for a while. We will see probably a bigger move very, very shortly. All right, and going back here itself, let's take a look with the Nikkei. The Nikkei is not able to cross the BNB RL level. It tried yesterday, pulls back. Today is trying to test MLP again. KSI is green, but KRW is cyan, so there's a mix here itself. That's why the market has no direction at the point for time being. So we're going to watch it very closely. And let's just take a look over here with the DAX. I think just about to open, or let's open. DAX has to open and is trading slightly below the MLP. So if the DAX stays below OP, the selling pressure could bring it down to the BNB support level, and that will be 13,837. KSI and KRW both are red, so that means the selling pressure will be there once the market loses below the OP mark. Alright, so we have covered quite a fair bit, right? Let's cover a bit on the currency, just a quick one. For currency side, the dollar yen is trying to firm itself. This is the BNB support level, and of course you can see that the market is switching towards the upside. So 13528 will be the first resistance. That will probably be the one to take note. And currently now the KSI and the KRW are both red. Alright, so that means that there's selling pressure, but if the market moves by itself and cross 13528, I believe that it can go back up to 136.87. Okay. For the pound market, let's take a quick look now. The pound is coming down. That shows that the dollar is strengthening with the KSI red, but the KRW is cyan. It's a mix. That's why the downside is slow, but it's steadily coming down. The euro, let's take a look right now. The euro is very interesting. It's moving opposite direction of the pound, but it's still not able to show big signs of going up. So if the market, if the dollar is going to go up, then this point here, the BNB RL will be the resistance at 106.60. This will actually hold, stop the market from moving higher. Okay, and last but not least, Australia dollar now is moving up a little bit because of the commodity prices. I believe that Aussie dollar, once it breaks above the BNB RL level, we can see 0.68 traded. Now it's 0.675. Okay. All right, quick one. Let's look at the gold and silver market. Now silver is really waiting to move up again. Silver is consolidating and is staying right above the BNB RL level. Very nice. So it's likely going to test 24.86 in the near term. All right, watch out for this 24.86. And for gold, let's take a look right now. For gold, gold is struggling to stay afloat above the BNB RL. Let's take a look here. This is RL. So it's trying its best to stay above, but now it is. The BNB RL is at 1810. So now it's trading slightly below. Unless it breaks convincingly 1810, then we can see going all the way to 1854. But of course, if the dollar is really strengthening across the board, that will add pressure down. And if you look at support, you can look at to buy only at 1766. That's the BNB support level. Okay, and let's look at the last two, which is our Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's pick one. For Bitcoin, it is coming off a little bit. Oh, there's some error here. Let's give a moment. Okay, now mind. I think some error. I'll solve it later. This is the BNB. This is the BNB for Bitcoin, and it is trying to stay support. This is the support level. So it has to stay above 16,585. If not, we may see a pullback to 16,220. Okay, and for Ethereum, you can see right now it's now currently lost the BNB support level. Hence, therefore, I believe that 1166 could be the first target, all right, for Ethereum. Okay, guys, that will be all for today. And do remember to spot the special code that I left in the PowerPoint slide and put into the comment box, all right, to win the chance to have lunch with me the next following week. All right, this is Claus signing off. Have a great day. Bye-bye.